software program is this? This is pretty good.
All right, it says we're live. I'm using YouTube, and this is GunTube that we're actually talking on. GunTube Chambers. So, all right, it says we're live. I hope we are. So, welcome from the crossroads of America to a talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. We are broadcasting on gun channels and YouTube. And, of course, I'm using the GunTube Chambers platform. So I've got a Patreon page and all that good stuff. It's all down below there. This audio file will be on Podbean's, iTunes, and Stitcher within 24 hours of the show ending, along with the other 200 and something odd shows I got listed on there. So, all right. So any thumbs up and all that good stuff, even thumbs down, it all helps. So anyway, first in the room was Jason Stewart, Ozzy Osbourne, Kingpin, Raphael, Sabrina are in the room so far. I appreciate it. My panel right now, I've got Blind Shooter. How you doing?
Pretty good, Rick. How about yourself?
Okay. Dan, he's come back from the past. He is not dead. We got Tony from Illinois.
Nope, I ain't dead. I just took a little break.
Okay. Then we got the one and only Kingpin. How you doing?
Doing extra special today now that I see you and Tony are back together.
Yeah. All we need is Squib in here, and we got it made. You know?
I may need a load of whiskey before Squib comes in.
All right. So we're here, and today, my opinion, we got a lot to talk about. Virginia, Indiana, all kinds of stuff. We can start with, let's start with Indiana real quick, since that's my home state and that's where I'm at. The biggest one, the Senate has submitted a bill, SB 203. And it's basically to prohibit the sale, trade, or transfer of regulated weapon to a person less than 21 years of age. Okay, you read that sounds fine, and it goes down, then it talks about, it says everything that you can't trade, sell them, all this stuff. Then, let's see. One of your privileges, then it goes more. Oh, yeah, then, see, it slides this in halfway down the synopsis that they're doing a magazine ban, no more than 10 rounds. Then, this is what gets me. You go even further down, and you actually you actually bring up the actual bill and read the guts of it. They are making it illegal to carry prohibited firearms in public. So basically, any semi-automatic rifle you cannot carry openly in Indiana anymore. You used to be able to. Well, you still can, but if this bill passes, you won't be able to. See, they snuck that in there, bastards.
How likely is that to pass, though?
Not very likely, I don't think. But it's like anywhere else. The people who are moving from why they're moving here, I don't know, but they bring their shit with them. We do. I mean, this is a Democrat senator that proposes, of course. But I don't think it's going to pass because Indiana is a very gun-friendly state. But I say that, I mean, we are gun-friendly, and from what I've read and searched, everybody's all the red flag laws are totally what's called. But Indiana's had one since 2005. But when they start listing off states that have them, they never mention Indiana because they forgot all about us. It's named after a sheriff or a policeman who got killed by somebody that shouldn't have had firearms. So they if you read it, it's identical to what the red flag laws are today. But from what I can gather, where I'm going is it hasn't been abused in the state of Indiana. That's where maybe that's why it doesn't. A lot of people don't talk about it here in the state because it's not really abused.
That's because nobody remembers it exists.
Maybe, but it's there. So, yeah, but this bill, I don't think it will pass because I said Republicans, and that's not always a guarantee. But I would say the Republicans hold the majority in the House and the Senate here, and the governor is Republican. So, and they are two-way friendly. And I know as soon as I heard about this at the beginning of the week, I phoned my senator from my district, left her a message. Then I followed that up with an email to her. Not only to her, I CC'd a copy to her assistant, and then I even CC'd a copy to her media person. So all three of them in her office have got it. Then I modified it a little bit and sent it to every senator up there, and then up there in the House, the Capitol. So I'm doing my part. So there we go. Ozzy Osbourne says, "Good to hear your voice again, Tony."
Hey, Mikey, thanks.
There you go. See, you were missed. Midnight Range is in the house. So that's good to see him. Don't know what trouble he's going to start, but he's bound to start something.
Well, I'm only in here 3 more.
I wasn't. I didn't have the page up. Look who's joined us, the Patriot in the dark. How you doing? Talk to me, Patriot.
Just keep tapping the screen, Patriot. You'll find it eventually.
Yeah, maybe he's having issues. Can you hear me, Patriot?
I hadn't said anything.
You're roboting.
Because I'm smiling here because. Hey, Tony.
You're roboting, Patriot. Nobody can hear you. You sound like a robot.
Hi, Tony. So, hi.
I'll translate what he said. He said he's smiling ear to ear because he hears Tony.
Oh, you heard him clearly?
No, he was roboting terribly. I was just able to make out what he was trying to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be out of here in about 2 minutes.
Midnight Range says, well, Tony fucking York.
Well, I'm not fucking right now, but I intend to here a little later. Let's shut him up.
Okay, so that's what's happening in Indiana. So they're starting here, And what was it last year or 2 years ago? We said we need to start watching. They're gonna attack the states more than they are the federal. And it's proven that's what they're doing. They can seem to get these laws at state level, and that's all they need to.
It really surprises me how much of an assault there is at the state level.
Oh yeah. Not only in Virginia, but almost quite a few. Kentucky's another one that's starting to get looking a bit strange, and that one could be. Kentucky could go the other way, even though it's got Republican held House and Senate. The governor is a Democrat. Which is I got it because the Kentucky governor, the last one was a crook anyway, so it was good to see him go.
I see there's stuff rumbling in Michigan too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I believe. Let's move on. Then we'll go back to blind shooter. He said there's stuff happening in New York. So what goes?
You got New York and New Jersey. Senior Governor Homeboy. Yeah. Am I still allowed to swear and curse on your channel, Rick, or no?
You can swear.
Yeah, cool. So Governor Fuckhead, back in the day, he wanted to ban all the insurance companies from doing business with gun owners.
Yeah.
Now, with the new legislative session taking effect, he's pushing the $1 million insurance for gun owners before you can own anything.
He doesn't want. I mean, he fought to have. You're talking about New York now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he went all out to cripple the insurance that the NRA was doing. But now you've got to have an insurance to have a gun.
That's correct.
I mean, what a fucking hypocrite.
I got the bail, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks for stopping by. If we're still here, join us again.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Good talking to you, Tony.
See you later.
Yeah, he has to go pick up his wife. He just wanted to. He has a new email or something, and he's been showing up in the morning chat. We have a morning chat on Discord. If anybody's interested, the actual. I don't know. You have to be invited to it, but it's actually a section that it's run by Angelina. From Alan Anchor. So that's where we hang out in the mornings. So anyway.
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
And Tony heard you say goodbye just before he left.
Okay. And Kingpin did get that right. I did say I was smiling ear to ear because Tony was here. That's why I wasn't talking. So.
Okay. Yes, it was nice to see him show up. It really was. But anyway, so this is what he's trying to do, or has the bill been read or heard or voted on or anything?
From what we're hearing, they are looking to take it up this legislative session. And it's not just like, $10,000, $5,000 worth of insurance. It's minimum $1 million.
How likely is it to pass?
Highly likely, given that it's all Democratic run, so.
Yeah, but that's unconstitutional.
So is the SAFE Act, but that got pushed through.
I know. That's where I'm going with all these state. Once they pass these laws, it's hard to get rid of them. It really is. And what makes it so bad, like down with Virginia or any state, they pass these laws, so okay, it's unconstitutional. Let's take it to court. So you do your stuff. Lawyers ain't cheap. Even if they're 2A orientated, they ain't cheap. I'm sorry if you're a lawyer out there and you unsubscribe, but personally myself, lawyers are blood-sucking leeches. But you're going to cost money, but when the state is using your tax dollars to fight it, which I think is totally wrong. So so what I say is don't pay any state taxes anymore. New York Outcast. I had USCCA, but due to the state, they couldn't renew my membership. Now he's pushing the $1 million insurance, and the state might start an insurance company for it. That's from New York Outcast. Yeah. I tell you what a damn hypocrite that guy is. He really is. But I don't know what else is happening. What's happening in New Jersey, Blind Shooter?
So Murphy, they implemented the magazine ban last year. So you can only have 10 rounds in the magazine.
Yep.
And just this past week, I believe they're bringing it up this week in their legislation that the off-duty officers are now from that restriction. So even if you're off-duty before, you were limited to 10 rounds, and now they're doing away with that, and off-duty cops can go back to carrying the 15 and 17 rounds.
Oh. Well, actually, the cops need it because they're lousy shots.
Yeah, but it's not for regular cops. It's cops that are off-duty, civilians.
Yeah, but they're still lousy shots, whether they're in uniform or not. They need all the help they can get.
All cops are civilians, though. Don't forget that.
Southpaw RX, did I get a chance to read the email I sent you? Yes, I did. Thank you very much, and I am working on a couple of those items in there as we speak. You know? No. Just want to know I did read it, and I really do appreciate it. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, but that's still crazy. I mean, when a lot of these bills go, these anti-gun bills go forward, they always normally accept military and law enforcement. Well, I can only go on my experience from living in Rhode Island. I used to watch because I lived in a town called Westerly. I used to watch the Westerly police shoot, and they were pathetic. You know, so I mean, I don't just because they're a policeman doesn't mean they're they're sniper eagle eye shooters. Most of them only pull their gun out when they have to go to the range to qualify.
Yeah, it's go ahead, Kingpin.
There's a whole lot of police departments out there that getting a job, you fill out a basic application. So I mean, we get a sense in our mind that every cop goes through this rigorous police academy and law school and all this other kind of stuff. You can walk into your local police department and fill out a job application in the vast majority of departments across the country.
Yeah, so anybody can just go put on a uniform, basically.
Basically.
Yeah, and it doesn't make you a good shot. I'm not saying there isn't some police out there who are good shots, but
just because you work at McDonald's doesn't make you a good cook either. Look at Midnight Range.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we lost Patriot in the dark. I hope he comes back. I mean, Midnight Range said he was responsible for him today. So where is he? What you do to him, Midnight? So, yeah. Anything happening over there in Maryland, Kingpin?
Not exactly gun related right now, but they're in the county that I live in. And I think it was 2013, they declared English our official language. And now they're turning that back around. So ultimately, when they say that English is not our official language, our county's going to spend gobs and gobs of money putting Spanish on everything.
I tell you, that's goddamn pathetic. They should just leave it as it is. And if they want, if they want, because when you pick up the phone, press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish. So what are they going to do? Change it? Press 1 for Spanish, 2 for English?
There's a whole bunch of cues that are already like that.
Oh, yeah. I knew this, 20, 30 years ago. They said Spanish would, become one of the most popular languages in the world. So there you go. Because there's all different variations, but it's all Spanish. Depends what part of the world you're from. But if you're from one part and somebody's from another, you can, in your speaking that, you can basically understand each other.
English is the only language on the planet that matters.
And you're right.
That is a fact.
That is a fact. And I tell you why. Even the what they're called, the people who govern airplanes. Is it the FFA or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
The international language for pilots is English. They must speak not perfect English, but they must speak it where they can speak it where anybody can understand them. English is the language of the air. So there you go.
As long as you press 1.
Oh, Patriot's back.
Yes. Sorry, I'm having some difficulties. What I miss?
Midnight Range says, Rick, is it okay if I tell Kingpin to fuck off, or can I not say that? I won't tell him to fuck off if I'm not allowed.
And you guys were going through the states?
Do what? Yes.
states as far as their issues and that?
Yes, we're waiting for you to get back. What's happening in Michigan? Some stuff
Now,
going down?
I don't know anything officially, right? One thing that is kind of spurred up talking with Squib a while back. I like obviously doing the emails and all that kind of stuff. And normally when you send out emails, you get your auto replies. One thing I did a while back was I go to each of these senators or whatever, their personal websites. I sign up for their newsletter, which is, I don't really like that. But what that does is it gives me their emails that they send to their quote unquote supporters, right? And that is definitely different than what they say not really publicly. I mean, obviously they say what they say, but it kind of gives you some insight of where they're headed, because they put, hey, we're pushing for this, or and some of them do the polls where they'll send you an email and they say, hey, how do you feel about whatever? And of course they're loaded questions and they're just wanting you to push a certain direction. So I haven't seen anything officially like in the news or any of that kind of stuff, but I have received a couple of their email newsletters or whatever that have listed a lot of gun control and things that they're trying to push. Actually, even one from our newly elected governor, which she's got her own issues, but I don't know. I mean, especially since the last election where they moved the major control of the state from the state to the municipalities or the big cities, Detroit and Flint and all that garbage. That's really going to change the landscape, I believe. So if you're out there, make sure you sign up for their garbage email newsletters so that you can be privy to what they're doing. So that's really all I got. I don't have any specifics, but they have pushed a couple things through they're sitting in committee or whatever, which was end of last year or whatever. I haven't heard anything new as far as the things that they're putting forward that might be good, like constitutional carry. They have pushed it through a couple of committees, but it's stagnant, and once it gets through, it probably wouldn't pass. But it's one of those things that we still got to work on. So. But other than that, nothing specific that I know of.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to say, Kingpin and Rich Wright are going back on signing out an application to become a policeman. Rich is saying some have to have some sort of academy or university degree.
Well,
and some, but but this Kingpin just said it showed him some police places in Baltimore that don't. You just walk in, fill out an application. So I don't know. To me, I think it's very easy. All I know is put a gun in their hand, say shoot at the target, then they put the gun back in their holster. Then the next time they pull it out is in 6 months when they have to qualify again. I said, people seem to make policemen, as I said, they think they're some damn, eagle-eye shooters, and they're not. It's been proven that police take more shots to get their man than civilians do. I think what they say was 3.2 rounds per person they shoot at, to get them. So,
I got a quick question. Did anybody check out that comedy I suggested Wednesday? That one that was Flint Town?
No, not yet.
The Netflix documentary on the police in Flint, Michigan. Yeah, they actually, during that series or whatever, they pushed through a couple cadets, and they said that they put them through a cadet program, and it was actually at the community college here in Flint, which I didn't know. I thought they sent them over, because the state police have their own, barracks and new facility or whatever.
Yeah.
But they actually just sent them to the local college, and it actually shows on that documentary that one of the people, at the range where he said he shot and it actually went, straight up or whatever, hit the ceiling. I don't know what. I wasn't watching it, but yeah. So that kind of gives you a anyway insight on the police here in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Honda just put it out there. Denver PD is an application process. They give you training if they hire you.
Most of your city police departments, whether it's big city or small city, are going to be the same way. Your sheriff's departments and your state police are going to have more rigorous training and requirements, but your average city police department, aka local police department, is basically just a job application. And then also you were talking about, we think that cops are like these sharpshooters like you see on television and movies. Most cops just have a job. So, I mean, the reality of it is it's a job. The idea that people become cops because they all want to be Andy Griffith and Crockett and Tubbs and the guys from In the Heat of the Night saving the day and solving crime. It's not really like that. I mean, there's a bunch of cops out there that are like that. They're real crime fighters, if you will, and other ones are just killing a clock.
Yeah, yeah. Watch what Midnight Range goes. The cops in New York have 13-pound triggers, thanks to
yes, we do.
Thanks to Bloomberg.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of people don't know that is just to become a cop here in New York, you have to take a civil service test. Once you pass the civil service test, then you go through the police department actual application in terms of like backgrounds and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
They assign you to a precinct or a police station to get hands-on experience. Then we send you to the academy. Once you actually pass the academy, they only have to qualify every 6 months to a year. And like you just mentioned, a lot of people don't realize the cops by minimum have to keep the triggers at no less than 12 pounds.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. A 12-pound trigger, that is damn heavy when you got to, Yeah, I wouldn't like to do that. I mean, I remember when I bought my Polish P64, I had to change the springs in it because single action, it wasn't too bad, but double action, my God, it took 2 fingers to pull the trigger. It was so, I don't know how many pounds it was, but it had to be about 18, I reckon. It was unreal. So
how does that work in New York? Does it have to be double action only or something? So every pull is 13 pounds, or is there like a single action?
What's the funny thing? Like, it's only pertaining to law enforcement. Regular civilians, they don't care what your trigger pull is.
And see, remember last week when we talked about how Michael Bloomberg hates the police with a passion, yet he thinks that the police should be the only ones that have guns? There's another example. You put the police officers' lives in danger with a 375-pound trigger pull.
Yep. I got somebody's. What first time here? Jay Monty, 1738. Well, and from Indiana. Wow, thanks for joining. Yeah, I mean, I've been here. I've lived here for this is going on to my 2nd year, so I don't know all the rules and laws of Indiana, but I try to keep on top of them. So there you go. If you can't, if you have to leave, come back. I'm here every Saturday, and I have a show on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. So, okay, where were we? All right, now let's go to the main one. Last I heard, Virginia has made the State House and the building next door gun-free zones. And they used the Capitol Police as an excuse for doing it. They said the Capitol Police wanted it done, and the top ranking Capitol Police, I don't know if he's a captain or a colonel, said no, I didn't. So there you go. They lied from the start. But the only reason they're doing it is they're thinking. I mean, basically, they're scared. They're scared to death of what's happening on the 20th, and that's the only reason they done it. Not only that is they suspended the rules that only the rules. It only needed to pass the rules committee, and of course, the rules committee, since the Democrats hold the House and the Senate, the House, so you have more Democrats than you do Republicans. And I think there's 10 more Democrats than there's Republicans on the Rules Committee. So the vote was party lines. And so that ban went in effect that way. The actual House, all the House state representatives did not vote on that ban. It was just the Rules Committee that did it. And the reason they done that, because they more than likely know it wouldn't have passed in the House. Because a lot of those representatives carry, even the Democratic ones.
Amanda Chase is famous for carrying her gun. She got a little 38 revolver, and she open carries on the House Senate floor in Virginia. And she got all famous for that. But another thing we got to make sure is Democrats are Democrats are Democrats. It doesn't matter that a Democrat carries a gun because he still hates your guts and everything about you. And so don't get mixed up into thinking, well, Democrats care about guns because they go hunting and they, target shoot and they, they don't care about you at all. And it doesn't matter. The rules don't apply to them. So when they take Rick's gun, Patriot's gun, my gun, blind shooter's gun, they'll still have them.
That's one thing that you got to add is I don't believe those rules pertain to them. As far as what's going on, that only pertains to the lowly people that are out here.
Yeah, so
they
like
can
on
actually
the 20th,
still carry in the Capitol building.
Yeah, so like on the 20th with the Virginia Defense Citizens or whatever it's called, do their lobby day inside the building to talk to the representatives. They normally carry when they went in there. They can't now.
And I don't think it's because they're scared.
I think they're scared. What are they afraid of? That somebody's going to pull out the gun and shoot them?
I don't think it is. I don't think they're not scared about that. I think it's more along the lines they're hoping that somebody's going to screw up. They're just wanting, there's the same thing with them pushing, where they're trying to get rid of all these guns in, legal hands so that they can, focus their the police and whatever to go after crime. Even if crime stays the same, then they'll still have something to tote that, hey, this is working. And if it does drop any because they're, focusing on cleaning up the area, whatever, that's just another little ban that they can fly.
Yeah. I mean,
but I don't think it's because, they might be scared. I mean, whatever, but I think it's more along the lines that they're just waiting for somebody to screw up or somebody not to hear that and show up there, especially since there's such a big crowd supposed to show up, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's another thing. I'm quite surprised they didn't try to ban the guns. Well, I don't think they tried to ban the grounds on the grounds because I don't think they would be able to enforce it. I.e., yeah, they start arresting people, but there's not enough cops to arrest the amount of people that will be carrying.
The arrests aren't the problem. It's that they'll write citations for everybody. Everybody that they can arrest, they'll write a citation for. And they're trying to ban on the outside, on the property, like the outdoor property, but they haven't been able to get that figured out yet. So that's on the list. It's not like they're just not going to try that.
No, I figured they would try it.
But see, it's easy to get them going inside because they're going to have a metal detector. Unless you got one of those fancy ceramic Glocks. But that's how they're going to do it and can do it so easily in the building is obviously the metal detectors.
Yeah.
But now, is this like a state-by-state thing?
This is just for Virginia, I believe.
Yeah, Virginia's. I mean, as I said at the beginning of the show, Virginia's going to pass those. I think how many is they're doing on Monday? 10 of them. They're all going to pass. They're going to jam it down the citizens' throats. That's
Well,
the bottom line.
Well, I was talking about the banning the firearms in the state and federal buildings. I thought that was already like mandatory nationwide that you couldn't bring a gun into any state or federal building.
No, not in Virginia. You can walk into them.
Federal buildings are different than state buildings.
Yeah.
State buildings, each state makes those determinations themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, if you went to the federal FBI building in Virginia, you wouldn't be able to carry in there because it's a federal building.
Yeah.
But if you go to the state police, you should be able to carry unless there's a rule saying you can't, you know. But, yeah, so they stopped that because people would carry going into the – there were certain rooms in there. I think if you actually went into the chamber as a visitor or a civilian, you couldn't carry. I mean, even though the senator's representative can, the public couldn't, you know. So, yeah, but we, you know, as I said, I don't know what's. I think no. I mean, you live very close to there, don't you? I mean, being in Maryland, you know. I mean, it's. Do you think? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think, Kingpin?
Well, I think you already nailed it. They're going to pass all those laws, and then people are going to go blind fighting them. You know, I mean, that's.
Do you think there's going to be any violence? Not saying that rally, but somewhere down the line.
No, I mean, I think there'll be isolated issues. You know, for instance, if they, you know, go to enforce a red flag law, there may be, you know, isolated incidents where people fight back or something like that. But there's not going to be, you know, militias all piled up in everybody's neighborhood waiting for the cops to show up. That's not going to happen. And the government's smart. They know that. They know once all the crowd is dispersed, you're all by yourself. So when I show up at your house with 15 cops, it's us against you. Right now, you've got 5,000 people standing there with you on the Capitol grounds. Tomorrow, you're going to be all by yourself on your property. And I'll come see you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I figured they're going to do. You know?
I had a question. With that stuff that they're passing, you said Monday, is that also include the gun range thing that they're throwing out? That if it's not a
no, I don't believe that one's on the list for Monday.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
no, that one's not on the list, but it's going to be done in the next few days.
That also comes with a little bit more of difficulty because you're talking about a de facto government commandeering of a private business.
Yeah.
And you know that's going to be really hard for them to pull off. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out a way to corruptly do that.
Now I have a question with these things. The consensus is that all this stuff is going to pass because they have, you know, the numbers and whatever. Now, do you think that because of these things all passing and, you know, everybody having their attention on them, does that mean the next vote, the next election, that there's a shift? I mean, most of the time, if people get, you know, kicked in the face, then, you know, midterms always turns it around or something like that. Do you think there's a possibility of them coming in and, you know, cleaning house?
Optimistically, yes. But no, hearing Virginia politics all my life because I live so close, it's not going to be a big red wave. You know, it's not like in 2020, every Democrat that's up for election is going to lose. I mean, that's possible. That would be the best thing to do, especially if they successfully pass the bills. Because in order to get rid of a law, you're going to need quite the majority of you know your government to overturn a law and remove it off the books. But Ralph Northam, the campaign ad that won Ralph Northam the governmentship was a redneck guy in a big black jacked up truck chasing little minority kids down the street trying to run them over. And the Virginia people were okay with that. And then I don't care what your personal feelings are, but they also elected a man who thinks he's a woman. You know, as a man that dresses like a woman and thinks he's a woman and changed his name to a woman and uses the woman's bathroom, they freely elected that person. So I really don't have a whole lot of actual optimism for the electorate in Virginia.
And that's usually controlled by the north of Virginia, the northern counties or something like that, the districts up there, closer
Yeah,
to
right.
Washington.
That is true, but you got to understand the fact that Virginia has completely been overrun with the Democrat Party means a whole bunch of them redneck good old boy counties voted for Democrats. So just thinking that, you know, just Fairfax is controlling all this is it's fun to think that way, but it's not actually accurate. Plus, we also have to keep in mind that this didn't happen overnight in Virginia. This has been happening for a very long time in Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, plus Virginia. I mean, even back in 2016, they voted for Hillary. You know.
Yeah, sure. And Terry McAuliffe, their former governor, was Hillary Clinton's lapdog. I mean, 100% as corrupt of a Democrat as Hillary, their former governor, was too.
Oh, yeah. I've seen family members that have, you know, been conservative and have changed their views so much, so radically, just in the last, you know, 3-4 years. You know, the same kind of time period, that it's unbelievable. So all that kind of stuff, it's definitely believable.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can't give you a reason why any of it, you know. And it's like to talk to some people, it drives you crazy because you can't understand I can't grasp, you know, where they come from to get, you know, some of these ideas. Must be in Flint water.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, really, when you, yeah, I mean, it's not just the North. I mean, the state is very democratic. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the electoral college wouldn't have gone to the Democrats during the 2016 election. You know, so, but as you said earlier, Kingpin, where are all these? I mean, all these gun owners that are all frustrated and going, "Yay, 2A sanctuaries." Are they Republicans or are they Democrats?
Well, who cares? Who really cares what they are now is whether or not they're active or not. Because you can protest all you want. Patriot talks about it all the time. It's not your vote is only that. That's all it is one little scratch on a piece of paper. What you did all the months and days and weeks and hours and seconds before since the last election is what matters. You know, you can't just wait until election day to make changes in your state. You have to make those changes every single day that you have an opportunity. And right now, if there's, 500,000 gun owners in Virginia who are fired up and, don't believe in all this stuff that's going on, we'll find out. We'll find out. I don't care how many people show up at a rally, whether it's 1 or 1 million, because it's irrelevant. If they don't show up in 2020, it's over.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you there too. You know, yeah, I mean, personally, I mean, I hope the amount of people they say are coming to this rally or this lobby day, I hope they get the figures they're claiming. But, you know, I don't know. They're going to show up. You know, I mean, it's as who was it? Patriot said it. Those guys looking out the window to the big crowd, do you think it's going to make a difference to their vote? No.
There was somebody I can't remember, and it's killing me that I don't remember who posted it. It was a Second Amendment forum, and they were talking. Obviously, it was I want to say it was Travis T, but I'm not sure. But the one of the guys that was talking, it was on the second video that was posted, was saying was talking about the sanctuary county thing, and that that's all in good, but he doesn't like the idea of calling it a sanctuary, because a sanctuary kind of sounds like you're hiding something that's bad. You take sanctuary because it's something that's not right or whatever. He was talking about calling them, constitutional counties that are looking at the Constitution and holding it that way, instead of using, those words that, can be changed or whatever. And it was pretty interesting. I'm going to have to look and see if I can find it, because it was really, really good. It was just a short little clip or whatever, the gentleman talking, but I don't remember.
That makes sense though.
But it was, I don't know. It's obviously just a point of view. Words obviously, we know that they matter or whatever. But looking at it as we're going to follow the Constitution, versus saying it's a sanctuary, because when you say you want sanctuary, it's because you're hiding from whatever. And so it I don't know. It just was interesting, a way of putting it, so that it wasn't, because I was just my brother just invited me to I guess it's a Facebook group of sanctuary counties here in Michigan, to do the same thing. And it just brought it up. So I don't know if any of you had watched it or not, but I believe it was a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks. I'm going to have to look for it.
Yeah. No, but that's a good thing. It's all right. I'm just reading some of the chat here. I'm not ignoring you guys out there, but what was it? D. Honda said he just looked it up. 3% of the population own between 8 and 140 guns. Yeah. So I'm a 3%er. Yeah. So, there we go. So if that's the case, there's less gun owners than they reckon. There's more. There's what do they say? 400 million guns out here, but they're not owned by 400 million people.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of room for the person that owns one gun, for whatever specific purpose that they own it for. Then you got people like us who allegedly own multiple guns, multiple. Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, I know a whole ton of people that have one gun. That's it. And they have no interest in getting anything else. They got their one pistol for the nightside bed, and that's it.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Some of them are FUDs, some of them are not. But there's quite a bit of people out there that own one pistol for the bedside.
Yeah, but those people that that do that, if a law comes down that denies them that gun that they keep in their bedside drawer, they going to give it up willingly without fuss?
No, not without fuss. No, they're not gonna go as far as to, get into some type of battle with the police or anything like that. If somebody comes and knocks and says you got to give it up, they'll give it up. But they're not just gonna lay down and take it. They believe in the country, the freedoms, and all the other things, just like everybody in this panel and in the chat room does. It's just they're not gun people. They got the one gun because they think it's neat. They want to have it in case something happens at their house, and that's it. And they don't care if you've got 50 million ARs. That's fine. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. OE Honda said I only had one gun for like 10 years. Yeah, that's what happens. When something happens, or you see something or do something, and all of a sudden you got the bug, you start buying guns.
I had one gun for about 45 minutes, and I went back and bought my second one.
Yeah. I said I've got. I can't say I have. I can't say I haven't got X amount of guns. I would love to have a load more, but unfortunately, finances don't permit. That's why I have to pay my bills first before I go to the gun store.
But I would like to also add, there are people out there that don't own any firearms, have no intentions of buying firearms or wanting or thinking they need one, that still fight for the right to keep
Okay.
firearms. So there are extras out there. So it's not that you have to possess something to fight for it. Because there's a lot of things that we fight for that we don't possess.
I was one of those. I mean, I said it, and everybody knows I only got into firearms, 4 years ago? 4.5 years ago? And, but for years, I never had a gun, didn't care, but I still believed if you wanted one, it was your right, because it was God given. It's in the, and it says, it says the Bill of Rights, So.
I just mentioned that because that is something that, maybe we miss sometimes, that there are people that still,
you're right.
Whatever you want to call them, if they have labels or whatever, but, we fight for people's rights to do whatever, to do what's legal and, it's not hurting somebody else and it's their right or whatever, if you want to call it libertarian or, whatever kind of label you want to throw on it. That's what America's about, is everybody else. And it's not to protect, the majority's view, is to protect all those weirdos on the edge.
Yeah, you're right.
Like Travis, with whatever he's making.
I sent you an email. So, yeah.
Or Squib with his flowery coffee,
Yes.
But I would like to say something real quick. Congratulations to Blind Shooter for the acceptance to the next big marathon there. Congratulations.
Well, he's not in the room. He fell out.
Oh, well, congratulations anyway. That is impressive.
And see, I didn't even know that. So you know more than I did.
That's a lot of little steps to do a marathon.
Yeah. Oh, Squib says he's busy. Hey, you missed Tony Squib. He was here at the beginning of the show. In the actual chat room. He was looking for you. Small lie, but that, All right. What I was going to say is I was reading somewhere else that now this is a strange one. I don't believe it's one of the bills going tomorrow, but I got a sneaking suspicion what they're trying to do. There is a bill that was introduced or going to be introduced to ban lead-free ammo in the state of Virginia. And you're thinking, banning lead-free when everybody else is trying to ban leaded ammo? Well, that's what I'm thinking. They're going to push this through, get banned lead-free ammo. Then they're going to turn around and ban leaded ammo. So you're fucked in Virginia. You can't. You might have a gun, but you ain't going to be able to shoot it because you ain't going to have no ammo.
Basically what California just did with their background checks.
California's got the one where you can't hunt with lead ammo, right? Is that a true statement?
I believe so. You can't hunt with lead.
Yeah, because it hurts the flowers and the birds.
Yeah, but there's a lot of states that have that, like especially on government land or whatever. You can't hunt with lead ammo or fish with lead weights and all this kind of stuff.
Well, see, the Democrats in Virginia solved climate change just in the borders of Virginia. So now you can pump all the lead you want back into the ground.
Yeah. Oh, guy that comments, no hunting with lead in California. Now, talking about California, Jan 29th, court case hearing on assault weapons ban. That the same judge who done the magazine ban and lifted it for a week, he's the same judge hearing the assault weapons ban. Now, whether he's going to do another, let people have what they want for a week or two, I don't know. but the arguments are being held on the 29th in California. So I'm hoping that he goes the same way as he did with the magazine. I mean, yeah, he put the injunction back on after a week because and I would imagine if it goes that the assault weapons ban's illegal, I would imagine the state's going to file a stay. So I mean, I would imagine even if it's assault weapons, or you can buy an AR-15 with everything on it for a week, before it starts. But I'm saying, so I mean, they're digging at it. They're digging at all these anti-gun laws, but it takes time and it takes money, and that's the problem. Like Virginia, they're going to pass all these laws. It's going to take time and money to get them changed if they can.
This is the cycle that we're in, and we've been in this cycle time and time again in this country. Just going back just as recently as World War II, we had the German-American Bund who wanted Nazis to take over America. Then after World War II, we had all these communists. I mean, the former Barack Obama's CIA director, Gus Hall, voted for the Communist Party for president. We've got we went through all of this kind of stuff, the Black Panther Party and all this other kind of bullcrap, the peace and love movement and all that other kind of stuff. This is just another cycle. Unfortunately, throughout the years, these politicians have gotten more sophisticated, and they've got the media deeper ingrained on their side. So our fight's a little bit harder, and we got to go out a little bit differently. And yeah, we're going to take a couple black eyes. Virginia's a perfect example. Virginia's going to get walloped, but Virginia's not done. If we all decide that they've won, AOC is the new emperor of the United States, then we've lost. But as long as we got fight left in us, this can be just another cycle, just another part of history where we got to weed out the filth, take out the trash, if you will, and reclaim our country again.
Yes, you're right.
30 years from now, they're going to have to go through it all over again.
And I have another little question. I like to throw all of these little questions out. The change in the judiciary with all the new judges that have been appointed from this administration. They're supposed to, it's a huge number, whatever, 180 something, I thought.
Yeah.
Has that changed any of these locations that are having these fights coming up?
Yes.
So like the crazies, where they're starting to try to push things through, the appeals courts or whatever. Any of those locations that it's looking better, or it will eventually once they get into the seat or something.
Yeah. Now, yes, I believe. There. I can't remember the numbers of them now on the district. Have swung in favor of the Constitution, and I think two's. What does Washington D.C. fall under? Is it District 2 or 4?
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about something else.
But anyway, some of them have swung, and even District 9 is that what you call it? The one that mainly covers all those states out there on the West Coast. The crazy leftists do have the majority of the when all the judges get together for the en banc or whatever they call it, but they've only got a 3-judge majority now. And at the start of Trump's thing back in 2017, I believe it was a 5 or 7 judge majority. So he's working on it, So I hope he.
Plus, a lot of those circuit court hearings, no one's ever going to hear about.
Yeah.
Because it's not newsworthy really, unless you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially
the way it gets to the Supreme Court, is you have two different decisions by the courts, then it would go to the Supreme Court to sort it out, one way or the other. You know, but then again, I don't understand how it all works. To be quite honest with you, I mean, when I was a kid, they taught about the countries being fair, and if something is wrong, you can take it all the way to the Supreme Court. If the Supreme Court don't want to hear it, you're screwed. So it's a lie. They fed me a lie when I was at school. Or has it changed since I was at school? Somehow.
It hasn't really changed. The idea of the United States is a beautiful thing. And the people who try and move that idea forward are corrupt demons from hell. And that's why the Washington, D.C. is as foul as it is.
And that brings up another point. A thing that I always have in my back of my mind. Anytime you have a large group, it doesn't matter what kind of group it is. It could be male men. It could be whatever. The problem with all big groups is they're full of people, and people having their choices thrown in there. That's how you get It's not that the group can be totally corrupt and wrong. It's doesn't take very much to really screw things up. And then you can put that to any group.
Yeah. You're right. Well, real quick, it's 4:00 and I haven't done my answer to my quiz.
Or the meat of the week.
What?
Or the cut of the week.
I know, but I'm not. Okay. I do the cut of the week towards the end of the show.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to be at the end yet or not, but let me do the quiz from a couple of weeks ago, because I didn't make it last Saturday, but it was the prize was about, I think there's 3 patches and a whole bunch of stickers. So, and the question was, in the 1970 film Rio Lobo, starring John Wayne, what was the name of the leading female actress? I wanted the character name and the real name. And she played, it was Jennifer O'Neill, and it was Shasta Delaney. Is that how you pronounce the first name? Shasta Delaney was the character name in that movie. And actually, we had, let me have a look. Well, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 entries in this one.
Nice.
So let me click the button. And let's see who it's going to be. Sabrina!
Congratulations.
Is the winner. So
nice.
I think I still have your mailing address, Sabrina, over there in the Netherlands. So I will get it. Normally I don't mail these out to the end of the month, but if I get a chance, I'll send yours early, because I know it takes a bit of time to get there. So you're the winner, Sabrina.
Congratulations.
I know she was in here earlier. I don't know if she still is, because I haven't seen her do anything in the chat lately. Blind Shooter had to drop out because he told me when he came in he was on call, so he might have had to go somewhere. So hopefully he might come back. Oh, Sabrina is there. Yep, you won. So there you go. All right, now while I'm here, let me do the quiz for next week. Email only. Now this one, I don't know. It's way out there, my question. It's a Star Wars question. Don't worry, it's no spoilers if you haven't seen the Rise of Skywalker. It's got nothing to do with that movie. So the question is what I want to know. Where's my thing here? All right. Now, I'm not just talking about the movies. I'm talking about the Star Wars, the movies, the cartoons, the books, the comics, and this whole Star Wars universe, if that's what you want to call it, right? What I want to know is who was the first Mandalorian, is that how you pronounce it? Who was inducted into the Jedi Order. So I want the name of the first Mandalorian who was inducted into the Jedi Order. Email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Now, personally, myself, I just typed it in Google, got an answer. I hope my answer is correct, but that's the one I'm going with the answer I got. So, so that's it. And the price for that is for this one is I got stickers, patches. Let me see what patches I got here. All right, I got a cup holder. I've got what you call it, a patch here with best job I ever had on it. I know there was another one in here. Here it is, Simplify, and all that kind of good stuff. It's all in here, and lots of stickers. So that's the prize for next week. So I will give it out again on Wednesday, as you all know. So, but I mean, I agree with you, Patrick. I mean, the rise of Skywalker to me is hashtag not my Star Wars. You know, but I haven't seen the movie yet. But what I've read and seen, it's nothing like it should be. You know. Oh man, what happened here? I lost my. Oh man, come on. All right, sorry, I'm losing stuff here. Okay, here we go. All right, let's carry on. I said, who else has joined us? Oh, Squiblo said Rick has become a nerd. I told you the question was way out there. You know, you guys, I mean, I think of all these questions. You know, I got to do this every week. I got to come up with a question. You know, so if you've got questions you want me to ask, of course you can't enter if you send them to me for the quiz. By all means, send them. I'll use them, you know. So makes my life. If you want us to talk on certain topics, send them to me too. I will, I will use those as well. So. Oh, okay. I got another topic here, guys. Unless you want to call it quits, is I hear the Knicks check set a record, and so people are claiming that Donald Trump is the best gun salesman now. You know, I don't believe that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He has said some goddamn stupid stuff, right? He has said some goddamn stupid stuff, but you actually look. He has not signed one thing on his desk against the Second Amendment. Now, yes, he did tell the Justice Department to get the ATF to change the definition of a machine gun to call the bump stocks. You know? So, yes, I mean, that goes against him, but technically it wasn't him that did it. It was the Justice Department. So, but anyway, I'm not saying he's a saint. He's far from it. I mean, he's the one in public TV, national TV, goes, take the guns, due process later. Yes, he said some stupid stuff. But if you actually look at it, he has signed nothing against the Second Amendment.
I think there's a huge jump or a bump as far as the purchases through Virginia. I heard that theirs had really went crazy the last month or two.
Oh, yes, and that's where I was going next. And I think the big surge of this had to do with what started to happen in Virginia. The Virginians have been buying guns like crazy. And so, of course, then other people start buying guns, which, don't get me wrong, buying guns is great. Everybody should have one or two, you know, if you want one. But if you don't, that's fine. Just go ahead and buy the two and give them to me, you know. But I mean, if it goes, but you never know. universal background checks. You won't even be able to give them to me anymore.
The same people that say Orange Man bad are the same people that say the left only deals with emotion and we only deal with facts. And we're some of the most emotional people out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, exactly. Exactly. Over this, because somebody said they're buying the guns. I mean, because Trump has said some terrible stuff, but he is the worst Second Amendment president that this country's ever seen. I'm not trying to defend him. I am and I'm not, but he has signed nothing that has hurt the Second Amendment. He said some stuff that hurts the Second Amendment, but he hasn't signed anything. Now, is he the cause of the red flag law moving from state to state?
No,
I don't know.
You don't need to know. I'll tell you right now. No is the answer to that. I get in more arguments on the internet about this than anything. Stop blaming Donald Trump for the red flag laws. There's no such thing as a red flag law federally. There's one sitting in the Senate, which is just sitting there. And Mitch McConnell said 10 million times, Donald Trump's not going to sign it, so we're not going to go over it.
Yeah,
Maryland, California, all these other places, Indiana. Donald Trump wasn't president in 2005, was he, Rick?
No, he wasn't.
All right, there you go. So Donald Trump.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying you are.
You know,
I'm not saying you are. I'm absolutely fed up with having this argument. There you go, emotion again. Any idiot out there that says Donald Trump is responsible for the red flag laws is an emotional idiot.
Yeah. Oh, Midnight Range actually brought up a good point for a change. Unusual for him, but he's done it. He said on the NICS checks, don't forget all those dumbass NICS checks for ammo. And California is going to add to the numbers.
No, Budget talked about that last night on his show.
Oh, he did?
And he said that the NICS checks and Calaveras brought it up too. He said that those are just Department of Justice for California. Those aren't like the same thing as the federal NICS checks.
Yeah.
That's what I was told last night. I don't know whether it's true or not, but that's what Budget and Calaveras both said.
Yeah. Okay, now E. Honda here says Donald Trump gave the green light to states to pass red flag laws.
Well, there you go. E. Honda, you're an idiot.
There you go.
All due respect, brother, you're an idiot.
So, all right. John Brown Productions, I'm glad you're here. You are late, but you're here. No, Midnight, you can't say it to me. So, you know. But I'm not going to. But I'm not going to delete your line there because I'm a nice guy. You know. What else have I got going on here? What I did write something else down here, and I can't remember what it was. Nope. It's going. You guys got anything you want to talk about?
How much do you think Larry Hogan gives a crap about what Donald Trump has to say? Name any other state that's passed a red flag law. Any single one of them. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Okay. So now that you've got that state in your mind, tell me who runs that state. And then after you finish telling me who runs that state, tell me how much they actually care about what Donald Trump has to say. It's ridiculous.
I would say that all the ones that I can recall off the top of my head were run by Democrats. You know? So. And Dems don't give a shit about you. They want your vote, but they don't give a shit about you. You know?
And neither do the Republicans either.
That is true.
And there we go. Alrighty. Anything else, guys? No. Shame Tony wasn't here for this one. He would have kept this. He would have gone off on that one. You know? So, but hey, maybe next time. He should be available next week because I think his wife works every other weekend. So, unless things have changed. All right, I'm going to wind this up then. The cut of the week. I wasn't actually going to do a cut. I think I talked about this before, but not under the cut of the week. But I just want people to know your knife that you use for slicing and dicing and stuff. Now, either take it somewhere to get an edge put on it, or use a. If you want to use, if you want to use a machine to put an edge on it, go for it. But all that does, it makes it sharp, but it wears your blade out faster. I personally myself, I use an oil stone, and I use a sort of like a medium. If it's really dull, to get the edge back on, then it's smooth to finish it off. Now, you should steel your knife too. Now, a steel will not sharpen your knife. If you got a butter knife, it will not put an edge on it. It only keeps the edge that's there. Yes, like when you're cutting meat, you can feel my steaks. When I was slicing steaks, you could feel you learn to feel what your knife's like when it's slicing through, and it gets a little bit harder. So you steel it to bring the edge back, but it doesn't sharpen it. Eventually, the edge will wear out, and you have to take it to the stone and sharpen it. And also, when you see people on TV, they're holding the steel in one hand, knife in the other, and they're slapping it, and both arms are moving at the same time. All they're doing is dulling that knife. You hold the steel in one hand, your knife. I'm doing it this way because I'm left-handed. You hold the steel in one hand, right? Knife in the other, and you start at the top of the steel. Handle's down here in your fist. Start top. You go to 45 degree angle. You go down that way once, then put your knife back up. Go on the other side. Down this side, down that side. You can do it slow, but once you get the hang of it, like me, I can do it real fast because I've been doing it for 40 years. So that's what you need to do. I just thought I'd throw that out there as my cut of the week this week.
I got a question about stealing, right? Because that's what I like to do. Now, obviously, I can't see what you were doing with your hands there.
Yeah.
Now, the way I see it, it straightens out the feathering of that it flips over one side, the other side. That's why you can feel that lip on there when you rub your thumb across it. Right?
Yeah.
So stealing, you actually go away from the sharp edge, so it's like you're dragging backwards, so that those will line up.
Yes.
In the correct position. You don't push through.
No,
right?
you
because sometimes it used to be that you'd see them on TV where they would be sliding the sharp edge through the down the steel.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it where you sort of like put the handle of the knife near your hand and push away from you. Yeah. No, okay. You pull it towards you. Now, that's
the sharpness is.
Also, here's the next thing. Just a little trick for everybody. There is a what's the word I'm looking? An artery that runs between your thumb and your first finger here. And if you're grabbing something and your knife slips off that steel and hits your hand there, you can have a little bit of blood pouring everywhere. So, normally when I hold a steel, I grip it in my hand, then I take my thumb and lay it across the top of my finger, right? And hold it that way so that if my knife does slip off the steel, it's just going to hit. Yes, it cut my thumb and I'll bleed, but I won't hit the artery. I'm just throwing that out. A little safety precaution,
Like a clam grip?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was just it. Anyway, I want to say thanks to everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. You guys are out there talking about all kinds of stuff, computers. Squibload went real nerdy.
Yeah,
yeah, big time. His computer's broke down or he's building a new one. Midnight Range says, I see Rick's left-handed. You can't trust a thing he says. Yeah. Hey, left-handers were thought. Did you know back in the Egyptian era, cats were thought of as something special? Because you know why? Next time, if you got a cat, look at him. here, I mean, like if he scratches something or picks something or grabs something to bring it towards him, he uses his left paw. 99% of cats are left-handed or left-footed. Check me out. I'm just letting you a little tidbit there. So left-handed, we're special. I'm just saying. All right. I want to say thanks for everybody for being here. I will be back on Wednesday night with Shooting with Disabilities at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So I want to say thank you to Kingpin for being here with me. You got any shout-outs or plugs or anything?
Just for you, man. Always good to be with you, Rick. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you stopping by. You're a good person to have on the panel. And the one and only Patriot in the Dark. What can you say?
I want to thank you too, because I couldn't do any of this stuff without you. And you guys, all the people on the panel and the people watching. I'm just here. So
yeah.
I
just wanted to say, I don't know if I said it on Wednesday. I'm just going to say it again. The people prizes, I was late getting them out. I didn't get them out until the other day. So you should have received them today, or you'll receive them the beginning of the next week. Just wanted to throw that out there. I hadn't forgotten you. So I will see. What's the name? What's the name? What we're having for dinner tonight? What am I having for dinner tonight? Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Normally I do something quick, but I've been having a craving for Toad in the Hole, which is basically sausage cooked in Yorkshire pudding. Now, I don't have no British sausage. I haven't made any sausage in a long time, and I don't have the ingredients to do it. But what I'm going to try, what I was thinking of doing, I don't know what it's going to turn out like. I'm thinking of using bratwurst as the sausage, right? So basically, you make sure it's cooked, and then you put it in, you do your pan like you normally do. You put your sausage in there, pour your batter over it, put it in the oven, and just let it cook normally. I'm just saying, that's a meal on its own. In England, they call it Toad in the Hole. Why, I don't know, but that's what the name of it is.
Did you say toe, like T-O-E, like at the end of your foot, toe?
No, Toad. T-O-A-D.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's really good when you eat it with Welsh rabbit.
and spotted dick for dessert. So yeah, that's just bread pudding with raisins. That's all that is. Where they come up with these names, I do not know, but there you go. All right. I want to say thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I am going to end the chat now, so I will see you all on Wednesday. So let me get my thing here and end the chat button. All right. See you, everybody. Have a good afternoon.